Greetings, coaches, and welcome to this edition of Give and Go Live. My name's David Newberry, and I'm joined by my colleague Ian Barker. Hello, Ian.
Hello, David. Pleasure to be here.
Well, Ian, this is the third in a series looking at maintaining possession, featuring Romeo Jozak from the 2013 convention. And this is a series of 7 activities, so certainly early on in the development of this theme. We will be looking at a convention video from that convention. We'll also be setting up the video and the Global Coach animation by looking at some quick tactics illustrations and some commentary from you and I. So let's go to the first sequence. And in this sequence, we have groups of players that are set up in a star shape about 10 yards or so between cones. And the idea, as we've seen with many of these activities from Romeo, is playing quickly and exchanging the ball between the feet. So in this first sequence, we see player 1 pass the ball to player 2. As the ball is played, 1 immediately sets off and runs as if moving towards 2, but then when they get within 3 or 4 yards, makes a very sharp turn, an angle towards player 3, receives the ball back from player 2, and then passes the ball to 3. When the ball is received by player 3, now we repeat the pattern again. Player 3 passes to number 4. 4 receives the ball and holds it, while number 3 makes that run and then cuts off at an angle. Ian.
Yeah, there's an awful lot going on here, and which will come to life in the video, hopefully. So when we look, let's look, for example, at player number 1, who has started us off with the long pass, and then David has shown with the white lines their movement. And what does that movement represent? Well, it represents initially going to support, following your pass to support, and then realizing that you don't need to support, or you've actually made that as a dummy run, and then you change the angle and cut away. So perhaps the idea is you've drawn the defender in, and then you've shaken them off and come into this new space. Where this now becomes a highly technical and important activity is the quality of number 2's pass to player number 1 and the request that you make of the players in terms of getting the ball across their body. Because if the idea is that they are to receive with 1 foot and play with the other, left to right or right to left, the quality of the pass from number 2 and how number 1 shapes their body will be critical. And then once it's been played on to 3, our situation continues, check and cut. But again, this pass and how this player gets the ball in and out of their feet are the critical technical components of this activity.
And now with sequence number 2, it's a different routine, but we start off in a similar way with pass from number 1 to 2. Number 1 then makes a similar run, but instead of continuing on and checking off towards another angle, actually ends up getting to the cone and backs off a couple of yards. As the player backs off, the player number 2 who has possession plays in front of player number 1, who receives the ball, in this case with their right foot, and then makes a pass across the field, switching the point of attack to number 4. As the pass is being made from number 1 to number 4, number 3 sets off, gets to the cone, backs up, and then makes their pass to number 1. Ian.
Thanks, David. Well, if you've got players you feel will execute at this degree of technical competence and technical attention, that is to say, a solid pass, the check run in, the check run out, and then the reception back, what I might do is, if I've got them, I might use mannequins here on the where the red cones are, or I might, just to give the players the picture, stand there myself or have another assistant stand there, so that the player understands that they've checked into this player, they've checked off this player, and they've given themselves that tiny little angle of space, a little bit of distance to receive and get the ball out. Because ultimately, we'll be doing this activity with opponents. So the players need to see the relevance of these little hook movements and the relevance of these 2 touches. If they look around at you and say, why would we be doing this, coach? Then you've got to bring it to life for them.
And then finally, the third sequence, very similar to the second sequence, but instead of turning inwards, player one actually turns away in the direction that they just came and receives the ball on the left foot and plays the ball across with the right foot. But everything else remains equal. Ian?
Yeah, and if the coaches have been able to follow the previous work we've seen from Romeo in Another Give and Go, and we'll see it when it comes to life, the movement of this player, whether we ask them to turn and turn their back to the ball briefly, whether we ask them to turn and keep their hips open to the field, but everything is about getting those feet organized to receive the pass, to play the pass on. So how we check in, how we check out, and what I might be talking about is, okay, when you come in here and you want to get there, you're going to drop your right shoulder. You're going to turn on your right shoulder, or maybe you're going to turn on your left shoulder. But give the players some of those specific details, and that will really help them execute this for you cleanly.
Yeah, now let's have a look at the video with Romeo, about 5 minutes in length, and we'll come back and look at some animation and final concluding comments.
The body position makes a difference. We want to switch aside, specifically in the game the way it's supposed to be. So what's going to happen now? He's got a ball. He's going to start off with the ball. You will pass the ball to him over there. Tip. You control the ball with your left foot. Hold on. Left foot. I'm going to come to this cone. I'm going to cut the way, and I'm going to open up in the depth. And you just lay it off to me here. Control it right here. Tip. And do the same thing. Pass it over to him and run. Run, follow, pass. Cut it, and just lay it off for him. There you go. It's going to be complicated later on. We just got to get him going. Nice. Tip, cut it. Sharp angle. Tip. Nice. Lay it off. Beautiful. The outside guys stay the same over there. You guys just shift the sides. The outside people are always the same. One, left. It's like a little give and go. Okay, hold on. The idea is I want to see the sharp angle here. Tip, not around. I want to see a sharp angle. Open and nice. Always pass the ball to his foot. Don't pass it ahead of him. To his foot. And aim it timely. So it's going to be not too late, not too early either. Okay. Now take a look at another one. You pass the ball to him. You come to the cone. And you back up 3 steps or 2 steps. Tip. And you pass the ball to me. Right foot. And I switch aside over there. And you change the side. You're there already. You're already there on the cone. You back up, tip, come to the cone, and switch this. No, whoa. We know what we're doing, right? Let's go. Cone, switch. 3 on each side. Let me see that. Wait. Hold, back up. There you go. 1, right. No. Let me show you. So I come to the cone. I back up, control, and switch side. And you go to the cone. You're there already. You can't be late. All the way to the cone. Back up. Nice. Right and switch side. Beautiful. And you're there. Tip. Right. Switch. Come on. Right. Switch. Right. Switch. This is functional, changing the side. There's no any excuses now. There's no opposition, no defense, no nothing. Clear pass. Switch side. Harder pass. Be there on time. Don't get there too early. 1, 2. Let me see those bounce passes. Just 1 pass. Just bounce it off to him. Switch. 2 touches, 1 touch pass now. 1. Nice. Control. 2 touch pass. Don't make those passes too hard if you can control them. If you can, that's all right. Just don't pass the ball as fast as you can. Hard. Left foot. Nice. Control. Right foot. Better. Nice. Tip. Nice. Right. Switch. No. Switch side. You guys are switching the side from here to there and there again, right? Okay. 1. Tip. And go. Nice. Hard. Okay. We drop down to the opposite cone now. Hold on. You go there. Go. And you guys go there. Left cone. 1. Back up. Tip. The same thing, right? Just control the ball with your left foot and control the ball to the right side. There you go. 1, nice. harder and harder, harder, tip. Imagine you have a player here waiting for you, right? I'm a midfield player here. I'm a defense mid here. And the player is coming here and he just backs up and switches aside. 2 steps. This is called individual space creating in a definition, in a way. Individual space creating, however, this is individual tactics as well, because you know how to open a spot for yourself, right? And one more, there's a lot of progressions we can do here. Another one's gonna be, give me the ball. I come to the cone over there, I come to the cone, I'm not gonna open by backing up, but I'm gonna open up like this. You pass me the ball like that, and I'm gonna switch aside, and I'll control, and I'll go to the other side. You two go now over there. Come, tip, and nice, and switch it, and switch side. There you go, hope, nice, tip, on you go, tip, beautiful, beautiful. Other way around. Imagine there's a player there for you, right? There's a defense mid over there, being aggressive. He can't do anything to you if you do your job properly. Let me see that, let me see that. Not bad, not bad. That's it, all the way around, switch it. On you go, on you go, on you go, on you go, on you go. There you go, there you go, there you go. That's it. Couple more times, let's go, whoop, whoop, whoop. Nice, switch, and go, and control, and switch, and control.
Ian, that's a real nice video there from Romeo. Let's now look at this in Global Coach Animation, and then we'll come back for your final thoughts. So Ian, we saw the Global Coach Animation shows the 3 different looks. So any thoughts and final comments?
Yeah, absolutely. Along the lines of my thoughts when we saw the first in this series, this being the second one, is this high quality technical training in a what some might say is a drill format, which I would say is in a highly challenged activity environment. Hopefully people out there are following these well, but if you wanted an example of how to pull this session off, take a look at this video again, because these are US youth soccer players, obviously of a good level, but they're not, international pros. They're not college players. These are young US players, and they're being taught by a master coach. And you'll see that Romeo gets in and does some demonstrations. He walks through the movements with the players so they can physically see it. They can kind of rehearse it. And then, although he's not actively participating in all the activities, you'll see that he's moving around. He's reminding players of their responsibilities. So I think it may not come across initially, but if you look at detail of Romeo's performance in this video clip, you'll see a master coach teaching technique to a good level of youth player.
Absolutely, Ian, and thank you, coaches, for joining us on this edition of Give and Go Live, and we'll be back for more Romeo Jozak and looking at possession.